Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody is having a lovely weekend out there. It is a beautiful day here in South Alabama. Nothing all that heavy today. Just wanted to have a little chat with you. We're going to talk about how my raw food diet is boring, which some people say, and going to say looks might be deceiving. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go down and hit that subscribe button now. Click on the little bell and check send notifications and come back and check out a little bit more of my content. You know, nobody ever really disses my food, but I sometimes laugh. I'm very I don't know, methodical, or I go through social media in different ways. And when I'm on Instagram, I'm checking hashtags. A lot of times I just research various hashtags, or I just go see what recipes or whatever. And whenever I'm doing anything raw food, raw vegan lifestyle, blah, blah, but pretty much just Instagram and social media in general, I see all this beautiful food. I see all this enticing looking food. And I get a little bit self-conscious with all my simple stuff on there. Not that it's going to change how I eat. Not that it's bothering me. You have to explain everything to everybody. If I don't say that, somebody's going to tell me, oh, poor Jack, we love you. It doesn't bother me. It's just a perception of food, and I understand it. It's not just the raw food world, it's anything with food. But anyhow, I just like to say to people, as I've said to you guys many times before, I enjoy everything that I eat. Look, I'm odd. If you haven't picked up just how odd I am over the last 7 years on this channel, go back and watch some videos, or you haven't been paying attention. I'll give you a little something here. I'm probably even a little odder, a little further out there than what you've even gathered from being on here. But it's mainly because of circumstances more than anything else. And you know, I'm dealing with some other issues dealing with these circumstances, but I've spent a lot of time by myself. I've been very isolated for a lot of the time that I've been vegan. I've been completely isolated. Well, I can't say completely. When I'm saying isolated, I'm talking about being in periods where I don't have conversations for 3 or 4 weeks or interact with people. Well, I've basically been pretty darn isolated for the past 4 years, which I've been doing this for 8.5 years. But even when I was living in Costa Rica, before I moved to the mountain, when I lived that last year in the mountain, I was by myself up there, and it was very kind of isolated. But even when I lived at the beach and whatever in Costa Rica and in the city before I moved back to the beach, I didn't get out a whole lot. I spent a lot of time by myself. I ate most of my meals by myself. So I don't know, I guess it's like I've always tried to be aware on this channel that my experience is way outside what the normal person's experience is going to be, because most people have other forces, other circumstances dealing with how they eat. I don't have all those things. A lot of them, even though they're nice to have people around, on the positive side, I don't have distractions. I dove into this thing head first. Because, as I say, health has always been my priority. And like I've mentioned to you guys before, I don't have health insurance. I don't have a big nest egg. So if something happens to me, I don't have any backup. I don't have the insurance. I don't have the means to, just go see a doctor and get it taken care of after the fact. I have to do every single thing that I can possibly do, that, in my opinion, and hey, God bless, I'm not saying that my way is the one true path or that I do everything right, but that is how I make every decision. So it's kind of a little bit more serious, my perception of it's a little bit more serious than I think it is for a lot of people. And another thing too, repetition doesn't get old for me. That's something that makes this lifestyle very easy as well. Repetition doesn't get old for me. Even before I would do this lifestyle, I would just, out of laziness in the kitchen or just not wanting to think of food or whatever, I could eat the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. This is going back almost 20 years, but I remember the summer before I moved down to Costa Rica, I was like, oh, they eat lots of beans and rice down there. That's cheap to live on down there. I think I'm just going to eat beans and rice for a month. And I eat beans and rice for lunch and dinner for like a month, and it didn't bother me. And I can do the same thing with this raw food. As I was getting ready to do this talk this morning, I was thinking back to this period when I was on the mountain in Costa Rica, and I got onto this. I got onto this dressing I really liked, and I basically ate the same salad dressing with just a couple of tweaks, varieties here and there for almost a month. I mean, every single night with my salad for almost a month. It was mango and red pepper, but I could eat just mango and red pepper. I could eat just mango, red pepper, and paprika. I could eat mango, red pepper, and tahini. I could throw some chili powder in there. I could throw a jalapeno in there, but basically it was the same thing. And I have been, in the 8.5 years that I've done this, I have had lots of repetition where I will fall in love with a particular way I'm making a salad. Another thing that I used to do, I went through this period for about a year and a half where almost every night in my salad, I would, in my food processor, I'd process a whole head of broccoli, and I'd process about half a head of purple cabbage and throw in there. So I've just always been like that, and it's tough. I think I reflect on my mother sometime, and it's the same way with leftovers. Excuse me, dropped my notes. Leftovers, like I've always loved leftovers. I've always liked going back in and getting round two. My mom was always the person that needed something different, or it actually used to bug me a little bit. It's like she's got leftovers in the refrigerator and then she would go make something. I'm like, that just doesn't compute. You eat the leftovers. But the point being is I'm just overstating the fact that I have always been very repetitive. Now, one thing, why can I be that repetitive? And if you look at some of my food from, I just did a what I eat in a day video the other day. In fact, it's the last video. Go watch it. If you're new to this channel, go watch that video. Go watch some of my other what I eat in a day videos. What you'll notice, and that's why I try to kind of do them if I have something a little bit different planned to eat that day, is because they're very repetitive. There's certain things you've probably see in almost every one of them. You see big bowls of ice cream in each one. You see a big green smoothie, because big green smoothies, number one about my green smoothie, and let me tell you how I build my green smoothie just for some people that haven't heard, just to kind of emphasize it. I usually put about 9 or 10 bananas in the blender. I'll put a scoop of either spirulina or Daily Green Boost. I prefer Daily Green Boost. A little bit of cacao for flavor. I pour some water in there. I mix it up. Then I cram kale in there. I mix it up. I cram more kale, as much kale as I can get in there, and I mix it up. Then I will almost always put a little bit of blackstrap molasses in there, and I will also put some chia seeds in there. So the green smoothies, I'm fortunate because I'm not doing them for the taste. I'm fortunate that I really like my green smoothie. I mean, I really, really like my green smoothie. Like, I'm looking forward to it. It's not even like it's something that's good for me that I can tolerate, or it's something that's good for me that I remotely like. I mean, I really like it. In fact, I probably like my green smoothie about as much as I like my nice cream, if that tells you something. So it's worked for me. Simple has worked for me, and it can work for you. Now, when people see how I eat sometimes also, though, you've got to remember it has been a process. I've been writing kind of my story down as I'm working on my book right now, and I was working on the personal part of it, just kind of giving a brief replay of my vegan life in there. And as I'm doing that, I'm noticing, yeah, I didn't do these things, and I couldn't have necessarily done these things comfortably in the beginning. But over time, your taste buds are going to change. But a lot of people are not giving their taste buds a chance to change, because when you're dabbling, there's too many people that are dabbling, and then they're not understanding why they're not getting the results, and they blame it on the diet because you're dabbling. You're going back and forth. I know I've used this example over and over, but it's the same way. And it's also the taste buds will detox, and they will be where you can taste pure things, but also the stuff you're putting in your body and the reactions your body has to it. It's just like drugs. Do you not get this? If you're trying to, come on, if you're trying to stop smoking cigarettes, you go for 8 days and you feel so good. What happens as soon as you smoke that one cigarette? You're mad jonesing for some more. Same thing with alcohol. Same thing with drugs. And food is probably the top drug out there. It's just socially acceptable. People make a big deal out of people smoking crack, or if somebody has an alcohol problem or this or that, but it's just like, oh, it's food. It's a different thing. It's the same thing. So some of the things that you may see out there, and I'll see beginners say this in beginner groups and in beginner places all the time, oh, I could never eat like that. Well, because you're where you are at this time. Do you think, God, it would be so nice if our technology was about 70, 80 years in the future, and I could just press a button and say, here, I want to show you me in 2007. I want to show you me stumbling around in the street looking like a derelict in this little town I lived in Costa Rica on a 4-day bender, eating garbage, from every place around. And yes, if you'd have told me then, oh, you're going to eat this, 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 and this, I'd have looked like you, like I was insane. There has been a progression. There has been a detox. Now, I don't like the overuse of all this detox, but that's definitely, my tongue has definitely detoxed because I like this simple life. So, is my raw food diet boring? No, it's not boring. It's not boring at all. In fact, I'm excited for food every day. I wake up going, ooh, what am I going to eat now? So just know that is a place you can get to. You can get to if you want to, but you gotta get, like I say, you got to do the work. I'll finish off with this. One thing that people are talking about all the time, and after a certain amount of time, is this whole baby steps, and I'm taking baby steps and cutting things out little by little, and I allow myself a little bit of this. How long are you going to take baby steps? How long does a damn baby take baby steps? If you're trying to do this lifestyle or any sort of lifestyle or change your health habits, and you're taking baby steps 3 years later, you need to learn to walk and quit taking baby steps. But anyhow, I'm going to finish with just saying I love all my food. I'm thoroughly satisfied by all my food, and I can't really say there's anything that I miss. So anyhow, I just wanted to get together with you guys for a little weekend chat. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again in a couple of days. Peace.